What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting the video over off at the hardware store. I need to get some stuff to hang the wheels for the FC so we can get them powder coated. What I ended up getting from the hardware store were some electrical outlets. So I'm going to drill 3 holes in these. Then I could hang the wheels with this wire right here. And then I could drill a hole in the center of each one of those things and hold. They would kind of hook these hooks onto the guy's powder coating rack. Now I'm back at the shop. What I'm going to do is drill 4 holes on the side of each of these brackets. Then I'm going to drill a hole in the center so I can mount these to it. So once these are mounted, then this is what's going to hang the wheel. And then from the 4 holes, I'll just run some baling wire, which is right here. So there's baling wire, and then that will hold the wheels up. And then I won't really have to worry about hanging it a different way. And then I could tape the back of the wheel and it will actually get the whole thing. The whole thing will be coated. Just finished powder coating the wheels. Everything went pretty smoothly. The guy next door to Trevor's shop, he's a powder coat guy and pretty much knows what he's doing, so I let him coat the wheels. It was his gun, his setup. I don't really want to have to worry about messing anything up. I wanted these done today, and now that they're done, they look really, really good. Can't wait to see them at night. You can almost see them glowing in the shade. Like there's a little bit of shadow right there. It's just making it like it's making the neon yellow that much brighter. So what we're gonna do now, take them over to the shop, throw the tires on them, put them on the FC, and then later tonight, I guess we'll see how they look at night. I just got back to the shop and Trevor had a pair of front tires because the fronts are quite a bit smaller. So these are 215/45s. I was looking for 225s, but these will do, and I really like the color of the wheels. They're just what I wanted for the FC. Now the wheels will match. So I am super happy how the wheels came out, and they're exactly how I imagined. So a lot of people might say that these wheels are outplayed, but even in this color, I know there's a lot of neon or tennis ball yellow wheels or RPF ones, but these aren't just tennis ball yellow RPF ones. On camera and off camera, they're just ridiculously bright. I'm just super excited how they came out. You guys don't even know the half of it yet, because now I'm gonna show you, I guess in the thumbnail you guys probably saw it, but now I'm gonna show you why I wanted these wheels to be glow in the dark. So I haven't really seen anybody use glow in the dark. I tried to record the glow in the dark on the wheels with my main camera, and for some reason it doesn't pick it up at all. My cell phone sees it, but my main camera, my Sony, doesn't pick the UV. I guess glow in the dark's UV, so maybe it has a UV filter and I can't figure out how to turn it off. But I'm gonna go grab my other camera from home. Hopefully we can see it. My phone camera is a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of old. It's kind of grainy and pixelated. At night, it really doesn't like night shots. So I think if I go grab my other camera and leave the lights on, I could get a nice good shot of the glow in the dark on the wheels. But yeah, I really like how these wheels came out. Before, they were just the silver on the rear, and then the other ones I got were black because they were two sets of wheels because they're staggered. So the fronts are 17x8, the rears are 17x10, which is the widest wheels you can actually fit on a stock body FC. And as you guys know, I don't like to really cut quarter panels up or roll quarters. There's not really any reason. The rear tires, I think, are 275 or 295. So let's see. Yeah, 275 40s on a stock body FC. So let's go to my house, grab the other camera. Hopefully we can snag a good video of the glow in the dark on the wheels. Another thing, I wish I really could drive this car, but I did pull the radiator back out. So I did order this radiator fan. I measured everything, it came, and it's a little bit too big. So what I ended up doing was I ordered another fan, and then I ordered a fan shroud. I'm not too sure about the fan shroud. It's just an eBay fan shroud. So we'll see what happens with that. If it's not to my liking, I'll still use the new fan because it's just a 60-inch fan, same size as this one. It just doesn't have a shroud, so it just has 4 bolts. It bolts on. I'll just make a DIY shroud, and then we'll have the whole radiator situation resolved, and I can get the radiator, the fan back in there, button up the fan controller. As you can see, this is the temp sensor for the fan controller, and all it does is monitors the coolant going back into the engine, so it's more reactive instead of trying to go off of the hot side, and it actually controls the coolant temperature better and the fans better. It doesn't use so many amps, it doesn't use so much power, it doesn't have your fans running all the time, and I think it's the best way to go. So I'll put that, the fan and the fan shroud should be here on Friday, as well as some other stuff. I ordered new engine mounts, poly engine mounts, poly tranny mounts, because the engine rocks a little bit. Obviously this car is pretty old, so I'll replace all that stuff, get the radiator, the fan, all that stuff back in the car, and then we can take this thing for a cruise. I also need to register it, but once it's registered and it's pretty much the radiator stuff's in it and those engine mounts and everything are in, this thing's going to be a really nice car to kind of cruise around, just zip around town and do some cool stuff with, and it'll actually look pretty decent, even though it's a little bit haggard, but it's a little bit JDM rat rods. And I have the other camera. Hopefully this camera doesn't interfere with seeing the glow in the dark on the wheels. I guess what was happening with my camera was that there wasn't enough charge on the glow to actually be able to see it with the camera. It has to be extremely charged up to see it with the UV light with the camera. So what I'm doing is charging it up with some LED lights. It should be pretty close to being charged. Once it's done with this, it will be, I think, camera ready. So I think the issue was that it took me so long to mount the tires and get them on the car that it lost a lot of the charge, and they really didn't sit out in the sun. I think they sat out in the sun in the bed of my truck for 10 minutes. The whole 10 minutes it took for me to drive over from the powder coat guy's shop over to my shop. So I think tomorrow, or actually not tomorrow, but when we get this thing outside in the sun, Friday or Saturday, we'll get a nice good charge on these wheels. And I think driving it around with them glowing is going to be pretty surreal. So let's give this another 5-ish minutes and then turn the lights off and see if we can see the wheel with the glow in the dark. So I'm going to remove the lights now and see if we can see these with the lights off. Oh man, you can only see the right where the LEDs were at. It's not getting a very good charge because it's not very direct light. So let's try to charge it up a little bit more so we can see the whole wheel. I have a bunch of LED lights directly on the wheel. I don't think LEDs are a very good way to charge the glow in the dark. I don't really think they put enough energy into the glow in the dark media. So I think we'll be able to get it charged up enough to see the wheel. Earlier today, when I actually had them out in the sun and took them into the bathroom, they were very, very bright, and you could actually take a picture of it and see it in the picture. So I'm just thinking the LEDs aren't a very good way to charge the glow, and I think sun is probably the best way. So we'll let this charge up for another 5 minutes and then kind of go from there. So now we're going to turn the lights off and hopefully it glows. Ooh, look at that. It's not 100% charged just because those LEDs, they don't seem to charge the wheel enough or the glow UV enough. But right now I could actually see the whole wheel. It's actually pretty bright where the camera can see it. What you can see in the camera is actually kind of hot spots, and that's just because the LEDs charge that area. I'm not exactly sure why the LEDs don't like to charge the glow, but I can see the whole wheel with my eye. It's just the camera really can't see it that well, and it would see the whole thing like that, and it would glow that bright right there if it was, you know, it was able to sit in the sun for an hour. But it looks super, super good, and I'm going to turn the lights back on so we're not just talking in the dark. But maybe Friday when I take this for a drive at night, I'll show you guys what these wheels look like when they're fully charged. That is going to conclude this FC video. I am super excited that I got these wheels powder coated. They are more than what I expected. I'm really glad that I chose this color scheme. The glow in the dark, the tennis ball yellow or highlighter yellow just really makes this car pop, especially with it being kind of ratty on the outside, and then it has these nice bright wheels, and the interior is pretty decent, and it runs pretty good. And so Friday, what we're going to be doing, I should have the fan shroud. I could throw the radiator back in with the fan and the fan shroud and get this thing 100% running and driving again, and then register it, go take it for a little cruise. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy it because it looks really good. I think it looks really good. And yeah, it has come a long way from what it was before. So if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, thumbs up, comment below. See you guys tomorrow.